Fridays are good days. Well, all of them are good and have different levels of good, but Friday has a special place in my heart because the weekend follows immediately. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. If you don't know already, it is Friday, 23rd day of August, 2024. I am Dan Kuntz. High clouds, pretty mild, 66 degrees. It is breezy, and it's going to be a very active day today. Belly up to the buffet. It's a weather smorgasbord. Wind, showers, some rain, some thunderstorms, all of it in the mix. Very unsettled atmosphere. It's going to be an interesting Friday, especially the deeper into the day we go. We have a lot of weather to talk about. Some television stations just talk about the weather, but here we really talk about the weather. We got news too. And of course, in sports, as you know by now, if you have any interest or knowledge in baseball, there's a job opening in Seattle, or there will be next year. Scott Service is out. Dan Wilson is in for the rest of the year. We'll have that in sports. Mitch Darlington got some hardware. We like that. Head coach of the Wenatchee Apple Sox, well-deserved. And some Apple Sox made the All-League team. We'll have that in sports. And speaking of sports, some of the best river surfers to be found anywhere are going to be in Chelan next weekend, Labor Day weekend, for the Continental Surf Cup, the third annual Continental Surf Cup. It's at the Lakeside Surf. That's, of course, the big artificial wave right in the middle of the slide waters of Lake Chelan. Robert Bordner will be my guest to talk about some really cool activities going on next weekend up at Lake Chelan. This is going to be really cool, the Continental Surf Cup. You can only have it in these kind of facilities, and they got it here. So Robert will be my guest when we get to the back half of the program, and we begin with our tour around the valley. And there is the valley proper. From our Wenatchee Heights camera, you can see, ooh, hey, hello birds. How are you? Maybe the birds are knowing that something's going on as well, because this cold front is pretty active. It's going to barrel in and give us a pretty active day weather-wise, especially this afternoon. Things are going to get pretty quiet until we get about 2 o'clock this afternoon, and then things get pretty cattywampus. Let's head on up to Billy Goat's and say good morning to our friends up in the Omak-Okanagan area. Days are getting shorter. You know, sunset's now before 8 o'clock for our area. A little bit later up north because, well, they're up north. Good morning to our friends high atop Billy Goat. Nobody lives high atop Billy Goat, except I suppose Billy Goats from our Billy Goat camera. The monitor camera has a beautiful view of Cashmere and eventually on off to Dryden and Peshastin, but that is a big swath of the monitor area and all of the orchards with, you can see Stein Hill way off into the distance, and the Cashmere Valley settled in. That camera's moving around a little bit. It's supposed to move around in the wind. That's how it works. The Royal City camera, the camera down near Royal City, isn't moving much at all. They don't have as much wind as we do, nor cloud cover, but they are going to have some wind as well. It's going to be breezy in Wenatchee this afternoon, at times windy. The real wind is going to be out in the Columbia Basin. They're going to have some blowing dust concerns there. There's not a lot of plant life holding the soil to the ground. Yeah, big time blowing dust. Look at where you're going to be. Now, the confidence is right about in the middle. National Weather Service says they're pretty confident it's going to get windy. Whether it's going to blow dust or not, that really depends on where you're going to be. But if you're out and about in the eastern swath of this state, get ready for some blowing dust this afternoon. It's going to be very windy out there. We're talking 50 to 60 mile-an-hour gusts out there, so visibility can get down pretty low out in the Columbia Basin. I know it's going to be windy here in the Wenatchee Valley. Our big concern is thunderstorms tonight. It is definitely in the forecast as the best chance for thunderstorms here in the Wenatchee Valley is between about 5 o'clock this afternoon and about 8 o'clock this afternoon. 5 to 8. Now, we could see thunderstorms before 5 and after 8, but that's that window, that 3-hour window between 5 and 8 is the best chance for us to see some lightning and some thunderstorms and some heavy downpours in those areas. Other areas will just see some rain, but they've also upped the chance of rain. It started out at earlier in the week, it was like a 50% chance of rain, then it went to 60 for tonight, then 70. Now we have an 80% chance of showers tonight. From the National Weather Service, here we go. Lots happening. Rain this morning, showers this morning, thunderstorms, that starts kicking in maybe about 2. Then a good chance of some pop-up thunderstorms between 5 and 8 o'clock. Obviously, Some lightning associated with that. It's going to be windy as the day progresses. The winds will be picking up. We could see the occasional gust above 30 in the Wenatchee Valley, Moses Lake, Quincy, Freda, up north on the Highway 2 corridor between Waterville and Davenport. We're talking 50 to 60 mile-an-hour gusts up on the plateau. Could make things a little dicey for the fair tonight. Chance of precipitation tonight is 80%. Thunderstorm activity should die down, but not the rain, and we need it, so bring it on. Overnight low 54. Saturday only 69, and we may be lucky to get that with a chance of some showers, especially Saturday morning. Then the system moves out Saturday night. Sunday we go back to sunshine, below normal still with 77, and then we warm right back up again as we're getting close to say goodbye to August and welcoming September with Labor Day weekend next weekend. All right, I'm going to take a break, and when we come back, we got the news on a busy Friday. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, located on South Wenatchee Ave, has the largest selection of spas and swim spas in town. Stay cool this summer in an artesian swim spa and use it all year long. We enjoy helping families reconnect one spa at a time. Hot tubs are proven to improve sleep and decrease arthritis pain. Our passion is water, so please bring us a water sample, and we will help you diagnose your pool or spa water for free. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, your pool and spa experts.
Public notice. Never before RV public auction. 5 days only. August 22nd to the 26th. Come down and place your bid with no bid refused. There's hundreds of new and used RVs to be auctioned like Flagstaff, Starcraft, Forest River, Jayco, and Salem. Amazing financing. 0 down and no payments until 2025. There's food and refreshments. And you could be an instant winner of a 2024 trailer or $30,000 in cash. So don't miss the one-time only bid and buy auction sale. 5 days only. August 22nd through the 26th.
The family at the Epladolin want to help your loved one feel at ease in their new home environment. Epladolin offers beautiful one-bedroom and studio apartments. Residents enjoy 3 delicious home-style meals a day, laundry service, housekeeping service, and encouragement to make themselves cozy in their new home. Epladolin welcomes your family to come and visit their family. Epladolin, independent and assisted living. They make the complicated easy for you. Call today for a tour.
I have a question. Are you paying over $170 to $230 for your Medigap supplement? At Springwater Insurance, we search all Medicare plans available in our state. We don't work for any insurance companies, we work for you. And the insurance companies pay us to teach you. Now, our clients are paying as low as $137 per month for their Medicare plans. So call right now for a free phone quote. It takes about a minute. Call us at 509-888-2600.
It's a little breezy right now. It's 66 degrees. It's the calm before the activity. Things get very active this afternoon, as I already told you. Rain, thunderstorms, strong winds, all in a fairly short period of time. Could be an interesting Friday night before things calm down over the weekend. It's 8 minutes after the hour. The Wenatchee man accused of refusing to let a 12-year-old girl out of his car and threatening her with violence is set to stand trial come October. 41-year-old Omar Christopher Harding is charged with second-degree kidnapping and assault, first-degree theft, and felony harassment. Judge Kristen Ferreira arraigned Harding on all charges Wednesday. He's scheduled to go on trial on October 8th. Wenatchee police say back on August 4th, Harding invited the girl into his car, then took her phone and held a box cutter knife to her neck when she tried to get out of the car. The victim said she stabbed Harding in the leg while making her escape. She also allegedly took video that showed her inside Harding's vehicle. He remains held in the Chelan County Jail on a $500,000 bond. The woman suspected in a string of fraudulent bank withdrawals last spring, including one in Leavenworth, well, they found her in federal custody, and they know who she is. She's identified as Andrea Cochran. Back in May, Cochran allegedly used falsified or stolen passports to steal tens of thousands of dollars from bank account holders in Chelan, Kittitas, and Snohomish counties, including almost $11,000 from a customer of the Cashmere Valley Bank branch in Leavenworth. The fraudulent transactions were caught on video, and Chelan County Sheriff's deputies issued public warnings to be on the lookout. But on June 20th, Cochran allegedly withdrew about $17,000 from banks in Westbrook and Portland, Maine, using the same methods. Police say they found altered passports among her property. She was detained on a federal arrest warrant for the false use of a passport. She has yet to be indicted. Of course, additional local charges here are quite possible. Some good news for residents of Stehekin and people who want to visit Stehekin. Evacuation levels for that community are down to level 1 from the nearby Pioneer Fire. That big wildfire has been burning since June 8th, has now burned an estimated 38,000 acres along the far northern shore of Lake Chelan. The remote lakeside town of Stehekin was at one point surrounded by the fire, but responders were able to defend the structures with not a lot of damage. In an online community meeting on Wednesday night, Sergeant Jason Reinfeld with the Chelan County Emergency Management Team said returning residents and visitors should still remain on their guard. The fire is expected to burn well into autumn.
We're talking about the residential area, the landing, all of that sort of one, but there still could be some trail closures, and that'll be at the discretion of the National Park Service as to what's going to be closed as far as trails go. Keep an eye on our page for any changes, and just always be aware that there's still fire, so there's always a chance that levels could go back up.
The Chelan-Douglas Regional Port Authority Board of Directors has awarded the contract for Phase 1 of the Malaga Cooling Water Disposal Facility. That's where Microsoft will be putting in some new equipment. The contract goes to KRCI Construction for $2.7 million. Construction is scheduled to start later on in September. It'll include installing a conveyance pipe along the Malaga-Alcoa Highway. They'll be doing some site grading, some excavation. They're going to install 2 double-lined evaporation basins, and they're going to remediate soil that may contain pesticides from old orchards. The project is scheduled for completion in the spring of next year. The Director of Economic Development and Capital Projects for the port, Stacy Demestre, says the facility will, quote, open the door for industrial users to develop the land to its fullest potential, closed quotation. The fueling equipment for the new green hydrogen fueling station that's near the south end of the Douglas County PUD's campus in East Wenatchee. Well, they got the equipment on Tuesday. NCW Life caught up with Douglas PUD Public Information Officer Megan Vibert to learn the details of the facility's progress and what happens next.
All right, Douglas PUD is in the process of building a hydrogen and DC fast charging fueling station right here at our East Wenatchee headquarters campus. We had to unfortunately take out some lawn and trees to make this work, but we hope that it'll be a great convenience for our customers. There'll be 4 level 3 EV charging stations, and then there'll be one at this phase, 1 hydrogen fueling station, which is similar to like your gas pump that you pull up. There'll be a trailer that brings in the hydrogen and then dispenses it through this equipment that you might have seen. KRCI is our contractor on site doing the earthwork. We have a little bit more to do. I think electrical's finishing up. They're backfilling trenches today, and then we'll get some asphalt and get all that equipment wired in. And so it's anticipated to be the end of September when this will be available to customers. Now the hydrogen plant is not producing hydrogen yet. We're a little bit further down in 2024, late 24, before we start producing our own hydrogen. So that part of the station will not be up and running, but the EV fast charge will.
And it's back to school time, so the Wenatchee Police Department and the Wenatchee School District are reminding drivers to slow down in school zones. It's back to school next week for the Wenatchee School District, and they're partnering with the Wenatchee Police Traffic Unit to conduct emphasis patrols during the first couple of weeks of the school year. The extra attention on traffic safety in school zone comes after the Wenatchee School Board voted to close Columbia Elementary School, and that'll send a new influx of students to either Washington or Lincoln Elementary Schools. The Wenatchee Police Department says the patrols will focus on enforcing speed limits in school zones, proper yielding at the crosswalk, and other traffic laws designed to protect children who are walking or riding their bikes to school. The district is also partnering with the city of Wenatchee to improve school crossings and pedestrian corridors, and drivers can expect to see changes in signs and other traffic calming measures near schools. That's the news at 1/4 after the hour. One more newscast before you can start your weekend, but we got to do it first. And we'll be gathering the news and sending it your way via the airwaves at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. That's the television broadcast of the evening news, 5, 6, and 10. It'll be up and running on our homepage, ncwlife.com. We'll have the video posted on our YouTube page, our Facebook page. We have all kinds of ways for you to ingest our content. If you don't have the app yet, there it is. Well, not the app, the QR code. You can't actually, I don't want to complicate things. And if anything out there warrants our attention, if you think it's newsworthy, send us an email. I'd love to hear from you. news@ncwlife.com. Scott Service is out of a job this morning. Sports is next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure on NCW Life. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCW Life channel.
When you buy tires at Les Schwab, you're getting more than just tires. You're getting America's best tire warranty, 60-day satisfaction guarantee, no hassle road hazard protection, and free maintenance for the life of your tires. So if something happens to your tire on the road, we'll fix it, or we'll replace it, no questions asked. Other places make you pay extra for that kind of protection, but at Les Schwab, it's included with every set of tires, because more warranty means less worry, and nobody stands by their tires like Les Schwab. Get more from less.
Apple Valley Honda is bringing the future of driving to you. Introducing the all-new, all-electric Honda Prologue EV. Say goodbye to gas stations and hello to a whisper-quiet ride and zero emissions. The wait is over. Finally, a local option for a quality EV from a brand with a track record of exceptional quality and reliability. Experience the Honda Prologue EV for yourself at family-owned Apple Valley Honda. Stay close to home and visit us at Apple Valley Honda today for the life you live.
Campfire North Central Washington, serving youth ages 3 to 18. Register today in one of Campfire's programs. Club members meet regularly with volunteer leaders to learn responsibility, sharing, cooperation, and citizenship. When a child is involved in Campfire, they will be actively learning and engaged in activities, encouraged to learn new skills, feel a part of the group, learn to work in a team setting, participate in planning, goal setting, and making lasting memories.
18 minutes after the hour, following a miserable 1-8 road trip, the heads are going to roll, and the heads did roll yesterday. Manager Scott Service, after 9 seasons at the helm of the Mariners, was fired yesterday. At one point, just a couple of months ago, the Mariners held a 10-game lead over Texas at the top of the American League West. President of Baseball Operations Jerry DePoto said it was time for a different voice to lead the Mariners.
Obviously, we're here, made some tough choices today, and we've parted ways with Scott Service, our Major League manager, and Jarrett DeHart, one of our Major League hitting coaches. And, I'd first start by saying, as it relates to this season, we believe in this team, and it has been a very difficult 2-month stretch, a particularly tough 10 days, but trying to do what we can do with a team that is telling us we need to do something a little different than what we have. So, I will then address Scott Service. This is my 35th season in professional baseball. In some capacity, I spent 15 of those years with Scott, and he's been a teammate. We've worked together at 3 different organizations. I have trusted him in just about every way you can with each job that he's done when we've worked together, including the 9 years that he spent here with the Mariners as our manager. I think he did a tremendous job in stabilizing our Major League clubhouse and building a culture of work and focus. This has not been a terrific run for us over the last 2 months, and it was a very difficult decision to make, but I thought one that our team was in need of, and we need a different voice and a different direction, and I think that can be provided by Dan Wilson, who will be here to run the ball club tomorrow, and I'll be glad to talk about some of the things that I see in Dan, including a wonderful human being who has a natural way of communicating, who is well respected.
Mariners have a record of just 32-36 since the first day of June. As late as June 19th, they were 13 games over 500, having a 10-game lead over Texas. Well, they don't have that anymore. Seattle is now 64-64, and they're actually 5.5 games back of Houston. Former Mariner catcher Dan Wilson will be managing the team for the rest of the year. Services record, by the way, as Seattle manager, 668 wins, 624 losses. Meantime, they still have to play baseball. There's 34 games left in the regular season. Beginning tonight, it's the Giants in town. First pitch with Luis Castillo on the mound, 7:10. You can watch it on Root Sports Northwest. Speaking of the standings, Houston picked up another half game on Seattle. The Mariners didn't play yesterday. Astros blanked Baltimore 6-0. It was the A's over Tampa Bay 3-1, and the Blue Jays took care of the Angels 5-3. Where are we in the standings? Well, the Mariners have fallen off the radar in the American League wild card chase. Baltimore leads with 2 games in hand over Kansas City and Minnesota. Boston 3.5 back behind the Royals and the Twins for the wild card. Tampa Bay 7 games out. The Mariners 7.5 games behind. Seahawk fans get their first chance to see the new version of their team in person on Saturday in the final preseason game. And for those going to the game at Lumen Field or watching on King 5 TV, Coach Mike McDonald says to expect the regular starters to start the game.
The plan is you'll see a lot of starters to start the game. How many reps and all that, it's kind of on a per-person type basis, but the plan is to see a good amount of the guys. We got a couple nicks and bruises here. We'll hold some guys out, so there's some guys you might not see that you might expect, but for the most part, most of the starters will start the game, Gino included.
Sorry, what are the merits of starting them this? Is it because that extra week next week you don't cover between games?
Well, different reasons. Offense, we just hadn't had a chance to get everybody out there and operate, especially at our home field and go through all those things and just there's something to putting the pads on, actually go out and move the ball before we do it for real. And then defensively, we only got 6 snaps in the first game, so an opportunity to go out there and put some more good film on tape and have some confidence going to the first game.
Seattle and Cleveland kick off tomorrow night, 7 o'clock on King 5 TV. The game does not count. The West Coast League is out with their postseason honors. A number of Apple Sox players and the Apple Sox coach were named. Aiden Doherty ended his summer #1 in the West Coast League with a .380 batting average. That was the best. The junior at UConn was selected to the WCL's first team. Second teamers include pitcher Quincy Vassar and center fielder Max Hartman. Pitcher and left fielder Evan Canfield and catcher Jonathan Fitz were honorable mentions. And Apple Sox coach Mitch Darlington selected by the West Coast League as the co-coach of the year. He has to split it with Portland's Mark Magdalanio, who was also selected to share the honor. Congratulations, Mitch. I wonder if they take the trophy and cut it in half, or they make 2. I don't know. I don't work at the league office. Those are just some of the games that people are playing. At 23 minutes after the hour. Today is National Sponge Cake Day, for those of you who want to indulge. Today is Internet Day. Those are for people who are really good at finding things on the internet. But no, we're not doing any of those things today. Today is National Cuban Sandwich Day. There are a couple of restaurants in town that make a really good Cuban sandwich. It is kind of complicated. It's 2 kinds of pork. It's melted Swiss cheese. It's pickles. It's mustard. You toast the bread in butter, and then you squeeze it. You smash it all together with a sandwich press, and boom, you got yourself a Cuban sandwich. And there are different kinds of pork that you can use to make a Cuban sandwich. How it got associated with Cuba, I don't know. Because the natives in Cuba, before the Europeans came and introduced pork, they didn't have pork. The natives would eat, essentially fish. Somehow or another, it became associated and be named the Cuban sandwich, although I don't really think it has anything to do with Cuba. I will tell you, it's damn tasty. Haven't had a good Cuban sandwich in a while. Too complicated to make at home, though. I'll get it at a restaurant. Today in history. There it is, the 14th state of the Union, the state of Franklin, which never actually happened. After the American War for Independence, of course, all the states and the colonies are supposed to pay off the debts. North Carolina said, we ain't got no money, so how about if we just give you this little territory west of the Appalachians, and we'll turn it over to the federal government, and they can start a new state called Franklin, an independent state under the name of Franklin. The federal government said, thank you. It lasted for about 4 years, but it didn't really last at all. It's now, of course, far eastern Tennessee. So the state of Franklin, created on this date in 1784, never quite caught on. Ben Franklin, by the way, was not consulted on that. This was the beginning of what would become the bloodiest battle of World War II. August 23rd, 1942, 82 years ago today, the Battle of Stalingrad begins. It lasted 5 months, 1 week, and 1 day. When it was all said and done, 400,000 Nazi Germans were either killed, wounded, or captured. They don't have the exact number. The Soviets did have the exact number. They got slaughtered. 1,129,619 Soviet casualties. They took the brunt of it, but they held on to Stalingrad. The Battle of Stalingrad began 82 years ago today. 52 years ago today at the Republican National Convention in Miami Beach, Spiro T. Agnew renominated for Vice President of the United States. There were 1,346 delegates. 1,345 voted for Spiro T. Agnew. 1 delegate voted for David Brinkley. The journalist, as things turned out, they probably would have been better off with David Brinkley. I always like to slide in any reference I can to my all-time favorite Vice President, Spiro T. Agnew. And happy birthday to the web. The web had been around for a while, the World Wide Web. But on this date, August 23rd, 1991, 33 years ago today, the World Wide Web was unlocked and opened to the general public. On this date in 1991, I am on record as saying that I believe this whole internet thing is going to be big. I don't think most of my friends and colleagues think it's just going to be a fad. I think this whole internet thing is going to catch on. My 2 cents. 27 minutes after the hour. All the birthdays today are heavenly birthdays. They're no longer with us. Of course, I'm not too sure about Louis XVI. He might not be in heaven. The last king of France. Over 1,000 years of continuous French monarchy came to an end with that guy, Louis XVI, who was also the only king of France ever to be executed. Their neighbors across the English Channel, the British, they loved executing their heads of state, their kings and queens, but they didn't do that in France, even though they had the guillotine. Louis XVI of France, born in the state in 1754. We all know what happened to him in 1793. It's hard to believe when I did my research about the great Gene Kelly, he never won a competitive Oscar. He was nominated for multiple Oscars, never won one. He was given an honorary Oscar, but he never won a competitive Oscar. That's hard to believe. One of the greatest dancers in screen history, Gene Kelly, born in the state in 1912. His last movie was Xanadu. Anyway, Gene Kelly. The greatest drummer in rock and roll history. I know I have a lot of drummer friends, and from a technical aspect, no, it's not Keith Moon. From just being awesome behind the skins, Keith Moon is the greatest drummer rock and roll has ever had or ever will be. The drummer of The Who, Keith Moon, born in the state in 1946, died in 1978 from being Keith Moon. And finally, Kobe Bryant. He should still be with us. Kobe Bryant was born in the state in 1978, died in a helicopter crash in February of 2020 at the age of 41. Still hard to believe, isn't it? It's been 4.5 years since we lost Kobe. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, and wouldn't you know it, that's Alpine Air, for heat and air. Call Alpine Air. They know what they're doing. And don't forget, you'll be turning off your AC this weekend. It's a good chance for Alpine Air to come out and take a look-see. We're only going to see temperatures in the 60s by tomorrow for the high temperature anyway. All right, going to take a break. When we come back, Mike McNally's got an opinion. And then next weekend, Labor Day weekend, the best river surfers to be found anywhere, not just in America, but in Europe. They're all going to be gathered at the Lakeside Surf on the campus of Slidewaters at Lake Chelan for the 3rd annual Continental Cup. You are invited. Robert Bordner is going to tell you all about it when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Why shop Boswell's Furniture in Wenatchee? Their selection is amazing with 2 floors of quality home furnishings. You'll find comfort and style for your living room, solid wood craftsmanship for your dining room, plus beautiful bedroom sets and luxury mattresses for your main or guest bedrooms. Shop Boswell's on Easy Street in Wenatchee for superior customer service and free local delivery. Find the perfect furnishings to fit your home and lifestyle at Boswell's Furniture. It's closer than you think.
Are you tired of getting less for your money? At Abby's, our founders placed over 100 slices of pepperoni on a giant pizza, and 60 years later, they haven't changed a thing. Order real value at abbys.com. Right now, fresh and juicy tomatoes are in season. That's why Abby's is celebrating summer with a special pizza covered edge to edge with beef and Canadian bacon. And if you want it covered with fresh tomatoes, they'll do that too. Enjoy Abby's August special pizza at a very special price.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether, we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Most of us are in touch with the internet in one way or another all day long. A fast, secure connection matters. It keeps us entertained, informed, and in touch. Localtel cares about your connection. We know strong, reliable internet with your choice of speed makes life better. If you need fast, reliable internet, or maybe an upgrade, or you just have questions, connect with us by visiting localtel.com or call 509-888-8888 today.
Here's your coffee. That'll be $5.
Thanks.
Oh, it's only $5.
Oh, I like paying double.
Why?
I've always paid more.
You wouldn't pay double for coffee. So don't pay double on your heating bill. Cut your heating bills by up to half when you switch to a heat pump or ductless mini split and get cash back from Chelan PUD plus federal tax credits. Learn more at chelanpud.org/save.
The Lake Chelan Chamber of Commerce presents Wonders of Wooden Avenue.
Welcome to the newest and funnest fashion boutique on Wooden, featuring mountain chic clothing and men's footwear from UGG, Brixton, Sorel, and Free People. Walk on into the Tiffany Blue Building on the second block of Wooden and check it out.
It is nearly impossible to describe what you'll find in Lush Life. It's an eclectic collection of items from around the world. See it for yourself at the corner of Wooden and Emerson.
Wonders of Wooden Avenue, North Central Washington's premier shopping district.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty. And everybody is entitled to my opinion. So let's say you have a negative experience with someone from a different race or group, and on the basis of that experience, you form a general opinion on that entire race or group. Or maybe you see or experience other instances which you perceive support your subjective judgment. Now, isn't this a description of prejudice, which we all seem to agree is wrong? Now, the reason I ask myself and others when I claim to abhor one type of prejudice, am I harboring another type and justifying it due to my subjective perceptions? A simpler way to ask this is, do I think it's okay to hate and be prejudiced against people who I perceive as prejudiced? This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's my opinion.
Want to stay up to date on the latest news in the area? Tired of paying for your news? Download the NCW Life app now. No subscriptions necessary. Get news, weather, sports, and more live as it happens. Available for iPhone and Android in the App Store. Local news at your fingertips. Don't miss the stories that matter to you. Stay connected. Download the NCW Life app now.
At Confluence Health, our mission is clear: to provide exceptional care for our community. We believe in healthcare that's personal and local because we're just like you, members of this great community.
We are Confluence.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
We are Confluence.
Hey there folks, Blueberry Carrie here to invite you on out to experience Blueberry Hills. Of course, the food is fabulous, like our cheese blintz, our famous French dip, our legendary Eggs Benedict, and unforgettable burgers. But we're more than just great food. People come from all over the world to experience what's been called one of the best destination restaurants in the Pacific Northwest. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Welcome back to the program. Usually people gravitate to Lake Chelan on Labor Day weekend to kind of unofficially wrap up summertime activities. If you're going to Lake Chelan, you're going to go to Slidewaters and Lakeside Surf. If you're not going to Lake Chelan, you're going to want to go to Lakeside Surf anyway, because it's back. It's the 3rd annual Continental Cup. These are the very best at what they do, and Robert Bordner of Lakeside Surf is here to talk about the 3rd annual Continental Surf Cup. It's Labor Day weekend of this year at Lakeside Surf, which is the new addition to Slidewaters, and a great one at that, Robert.
Thank you. Yeah, we're super excited. I mean, this is an international river surfing competition, probably the best collection of these type of surfers in the world. And it's the 3rd time we've been able to host it. We have plans for a few more, and in my mind, each year has been getting a little better, so super excited about this one.
You can't have the Continental Cup without the Lakeside Surf Complex, which is new to the whole Slidewaters thing. It was a bit of a gamble, because these things are not cheap. Yeah. But you guys did your research, you looked around, they're very popular in Europe, and you said, we should build one of these here to see what happens. You built it. Did you build it with the idea that you would have top flight folks in this field come and check it out? Because you consulted with the experts. Yeah. It's for the tourists and the people to enjoy and feel like they're surfing without actually surfing. But now you have this.
Yeah, it was an evolution. So we kind of like, when Burke and I were trying to figure out what we wanted to do next, we wanted to find something that was skill-based and that would gravitate towards a little bit older kid and young adult. And we came across CityWave and loved what they were doing. And we always knew from the beginning that we would host tournaments. That was part of the plan, and you can see that in the design, the amphitheater feel of where the audience can be in watching it. Ours is the best in the world for an audience spectator and how many we can fit around it. It's also the biggest, most powerful wave in the world of this style. So that pulls people in as well. But I did not envision that our tournament would be so world-class, draw people from so far as our first go, right? Like you think maybe we would build to that, but to be able to have the Continental Surf Cup created for us and here and hosting it has just been phenomenal. It draws people in. The surfers for Team Europe are super excited to be on Team Europe just because it means they get to come surf our wave. And it's the best in the world, and they're excited about it.
When you built it, Lakeside Surf, you consulted with some of these top flight surfers to say, how do we go about doing this? What does a hardcore surfer look for in these kind of facilities? You did your homework, right?
Yeah. CityWave was fantastic with that. They know these people, and just connecting in, like, what do they want? We told them, it's like, give us a wave that won't be outdated in a year or two. And it's still, people that have surfed it compare it to nothing else. There's wider waves, but there's nothing that is as powerful and is what they're looking for, with how steep the wave can get, with how much water they can push against to do their tricks. And it shows in the surfing, the ability of how fast they can go, how high they can get off the lip. These things are just second to none in the world here at Lakeside Surf. So we're super excited that that's what we've created. That's what they want to come surf, and it's been a hit, been a success.
You know, you did good when the professionals, the top flight folks who do this, say this is a place you need to come and do it at. It's like a golfer playing Augusta.
Yeah.
This is the kind of place that you want to ply your trade at.
Yeah, you have to experience the wave at Lakeside Surf, right? Like if you haven't done that yet as a real river surfer, then you haven't experienced really the top echelon of a river wave. And that's what we've done and created, and our experience all around it. We've just trying to build and keep up with the quality of the wave. So we have a world-class wave, and we're trying to create a world-class experience for everybody, not just the surfers.
This is the third annual Continental Surf Cup. That's good, because that means that they have done more than one, which means it's working.
Yeah,
and that's the most important thing at all. You got through the growing pains, the teething pains. You got it all laid out. You have a great facility. So is this going to be just a regular thing now? I mean, are we going to pencil in Labor Day weekend every year up to the surf place?
That's our goal. Right? That's what we want to happen. We planned for 5 years, partnering with City Wave, who kind of organizes and hosts the tournament with us. They bring Team Europe to the table. We bring Team USA to the table, and those are the two key components. So we can't really do it without someone that's going to organize and bring Team Europe to Lakeside Surf. And we've talked to them, because we originally modeled it after the Ryder Cup, where two teams competing for a trophy, and we're like, hey, do we want to come to Europe on alternate years? And they basically said, no, the wave is the draw, right? Like your surfers would come here, and yeah, the tournament might be fun, but they'd be disappointed in the surfing experience. And our surfers, all they want to do is get to Lakeside Surf and surf your wave as much as possible. I was like, all right, we'll host it every year. So we have a plan we did the first year, and after that one went well, we said, okay, let's plan for 5 more years. So this is year 2 of that 5 years. So if everything continues to go well, we'll get 6 in the books, and then keep planning from there, and hopefully it just gets bigger and better. Our goal is to have a world-class event that we can televise and everybody knows about and wants to support and see and knows that it happens in Chelan, Lakeside Surf on Labor Day weekend.
And it's going to be live streamed. If you just go to their website, you can click on it and you can watch it. But as you mentioned before, the way that it's laid out, the physical layout of the campus, it's just the gradual thing. It's a beautiful place. It's been packed every year. How does the competition work? I mean, if you're just, I don't know the first thing about surf competition. How does it work? How does the scoring done? Do you have to do tricks? Do you have to do a routine? Talk about how that works.
Yeah, so the Continental Surf Cup is also unique in and of itself. So it is a team competition. That's the core of what's going on, Team USA versus Team Europe. But within that, we have individuals competing for a podium finish and first, second, third, and prize money. There's 4 rounds that lead to the finals. So there's 2 rounds that we would call the team rounds, and this is your just standard river surfing, and it's scored with power, speed, and flow on their surfing, as well as the tricks that they can do. So it's like a 60-40 split. So the judges are watching like how much speed and power they have and giving 6 of their 10 points for that. And then they're watching the tricks that they execute and how well they do those and giving 4 of their points for that. And then they get a score, 1 to 10. And that's their individual score. But in each heat, there's 2 USA and 2 Europe surfers. And you add your 2 best runs together, and then now we have a team score. So if we were USA and we get our scores, we add those together and see if those 2 scores beat Team Europe's score. And if they do, then we get the team point for Europe. And then we do that for 2 rounds, and then we have a round that's called Best Trick, and that is structured the same, but surfing is just 10-second runs, and they just try to throw 1 trick, and the whole 10 points is based on the 1 trick that they execute. Same thing, they have a partner in that round, and you're competing against the other team.
How are the teams assembled? I mean, who gets to represent the United States, and how are they picked? And the same deal with Europe. How does that work?
Yeah, so Europe has had a few competitions. They have a few returners, and then they jumped on with something that we've done from the beginning, which is some video submissions. So our team is made up of people that automatically qualified. So last year we had Ben Benson surf, and he finished runner-up in the competition last year.
He's back this year.
So he's back this year. Cash Agabrod surfed the Battle of the Butte, which was our other tournament at the end of June, and he won that, so he automatically qualified. And same with the girl qualifier from the Battle of the Butte that won that. She automatically qualified. That was my daughter, so super proud of Reese for doing that. And then we have a few sponsor invites on Team USA, people we know that just rip and can kind of skip the video submission. But then kind of that open mentality that we wanted to create, give everybody an opportunity. We took video submissions and we got 15 to 20 video submissions this year. We passed those out to judges and they score them all, and we use those to help us fill the rest of the spots. There's 10 guys and 6 girls on each team.
They're from all over, not just our state, Hawaii, California, Oregon, Massachusetts, a surfing hotbed out there in Massachusetts, Idaho. Go figure that one out. Is there a local favorite we want to keep an eye on, somebody we want to cheer for?
Yeah, well, we have,
I just think like the Olympics, you always want to cheer for the local guy.
You want to know who you've got. Yeah, we're super proud that not only because we have Lakeside Surf, and there's a lot of our coaches, so if you come up and you want to try out Lakeside Surf and see what river surfing is all about, there's a good chance if you schedule it right, you'll come across a Team USA member that is working for us and coaching for us. We have a good handful of, we already mentioned him. Ben comes early August every year and starts coaching for us and training for the Surf Cup. He's done that the last couple of years. He's itching to get to the top of the podium, and we're super anxious and excited that he can beat out the 2-time defending champ, Lenny Weinhold from Germany. So we're excited to watch Ben. He is a phenomenal surfer. He surfs in the ocean. He competes in the ocean as well, and he's made this kind of a part of his August to early September routine. Cash Agabrod's been surfing with us for a long time. He's a local Chelan kid. He's a phenomenal surfer. His dad is our manager. His dad's also on the team, so we have a father-son combination there. His dad's super excited about how he can push Ben this year, so those kind of our top competitors on that side.
You knew that coming in, though, also, because when you built this 6-7 years ago, you know that somebody in the Wenatchee Valley or Chelan area is going to go up there and they're going to get into it and they're going to become a world-class river surfer because the facility is right there. And you knew that going in.
Absolutely, and the amount of wave time that they get. I mean, you flip over to our female side of things. They're almost all but one of them is a local Lakeside Surf regular surfer. The only one that's not is a young competitive surfer from Hawaii. Her name's Cash Hoover, and she qualified last year on a video and then got an automatic invite back this year. But the others work for us or grew up in the area. My daughter hadn't river surfed before August of 2020 when we turned this thing on, and so she's a beginner, and they're competing against European women and girls that have been surfing their whole life.
Been doing it since they were 6 or 7.
Yeah, but our learning curve is much faster than theirs, so we're catching up faster because of the wave that we have, because of the time that they have. So that is kind of hopefully close the gap there, and if our girls can do good this year and our boys put out a great effort, then this could be the year that Team USA wins.
Have other water parks in the West Coast come and take a look at what you guys got going there and say, hey, Robert and the crew got a pretty goddamn good thing here. Let's build one too. Let's go check it out. Has that happened?
Not too much in the water park world yet, but City Wave has opened up a few more locations, and they're more isolated around just the surfing. Just like if you just parsed off Lakeside Surf, that's what people are doing, not a water park attached to it, which really scares me. Like, I love that we are built, that Burke and I built our surf park next to Slidewaters.
Sure.
We're in year 41. Slidewaters is the bread and butter of the Chelan Valley for the summer. Everyone loves it. It's the lake and Slidewaters, right? Like, it's established. So we're kind of building off that. It helps support us. Like, if I had to name our biggest sponsor, it'd be Slidewaters, right? But now we're trying to take and build the surf park on itself, and that's what people are doing around the country. There's a couple popped open in Texas. There's plans for some I think in Arizona, but I don't know of anyone else that's attaching it right next door to a water park.
Oh, and water parks, water slides are by definition, they have to have elevation changes, and these really don't. I mean, these surf pools don't have to have that to make it work. Schedule's right here. The teams will be practicing on the 30th and 31st of August. That's Friday and Saturday. Competition on the 1st, the 2nd, and the 3rd. It's all, well, how much is admission to watch the Continental Cup, Robert?
Yeah, no cost. No cost for admission. So Lakeside Surf is always free for people to come watch, take in the entertainment. So we are super proud of that. We want people to come and see what this is all about and get an experience of river surfing in an international world-class competition. So just come, find your parking, and find your seat. There's a couple times throughout the day where it's standing room only, but the bulk of the competition is the afternoons on Saturday and Sunday, Labor Day weekend. We start around 2:30. Best trick, which is super exciting, is Saturday night, and that kind of runs from about 6 to 9 o'clock. And we end up kind of under the lights and do a trophy presentation to whoever wins that specific portion of the competition. And then same thing Sunday. We start around 2:30 and we move all the way down to the finals. So Sunday afternoon, we have kind of gotten down to the top 4 USA surfers from guys and girls, top 4 for Europe, guys and girls, and they are competing for the podium finish of, you know, 1st through 4th in the finals, and still giving out major team points, so it can still really go all the way to the end to who's going to win the cup.
Even though it's at the campus of Slidewaters, there's going to be plenty of parking. You've arranged for that. You're going to have a bigger parking lot than you would normally have, so don't worry about that. You're going to feed me beer and food, stuff I'm going to have if I'm going to watch this?
Yeah, I mean, the goal, I mean, people come, and 2:30 to 9, we don't want you to get hungry or thirsty. So we're bringing an extra bartender. We got an extra spot for our pulled pork sandwiches. The taco truck will be ready and staffed, and we have phenomenal food up there, so we're really proud of that. A great beer lineup. We're a beer-only facility, so we really focus on getting some great stuff. We carry some old schoolhouse brewery. They do some great things, and then supplement it really with whatever else you would want. White Claw, right? They got a wave right on their logo. I don't know how we couldn't sell White Claws. So yeah, great opportunity to hang out all day. You can even start your day at Slidewaters and then in the afternoon come up and find your...
It's funny you brought that up, Robert. I want to close with this. I had a buddy of mine who just went up to Slidewaters on Labor Day weekend a couple of years ago, not even knowing the Continental Cup was going on. And it was on Saturday, and they were going, what's going on over there? And they kind of just morphed on over there, and they just fell in love with it.
Yeah.
They just fell in love with it. And then the next, I think the next weekend, they were like, I want to try this. I want to see what this is all about.
Yeah, that's really a testament to the goal, right? Like, is that people would come and see everything that we've got going on and be exposed to something pretty spectacular and then make it a part of their routine. You know, people come to Chelan for summer, they come up from Wenatchee just to get a break, and we want them to have a great time. We want them to come experience what we're offering. We want them to come with friends and family, make memories, build relationship, or I feel like that's the foundation of life, is like making memories, spending time with each other that really pulls people together. And that's one of the reasons that we loved this type of event and facility, is because river surfing is very community oriented. Like when you watch it, you see it's different than the ocean. In the ocean, you're on your board, you're battling for the next wave. The guy next to you might be your best friend on sand, but if you want this wave, you're competing with him for it. In ours, it's in a line, the wave's there, you just wait your turn, you know you're gonna get it, you don't have to worry about whether the next one's coming, so everyone's much more social, you're waiting next to each other, you're chatting, it's great, it brings people together, and that's Burks and my goal is at Slidewaters, at Lakeside Surf, is to bring people together, allow them to make memories, build a relationship, as the foundation of life is being with people.
The concise way of putting it in Robert's words is it's a party, is what it is. And by the way, if you're curious about all the stuff we're talking about, there's a really cool video on the Lakeside Surf website. It'll explain everything you need to know. Very well done, very well professionally done. Again, it's Labor Day weekend, the 3rd annual Continental Surf Cup. It'll also be live streamed if you can't make it out. Robert, thanks for coming by and spending some time with us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure. This was fantastic.
And let us know how it goes.
I will.
All right.
I will.
All right. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
What once was old now is new to the NCW Life Channel. Tune in for Bonanza, Superman, The Andy Griffith Show, The Beverly Hillbillies, The Invisible Man, The Lone Ranger, and The Lucy Show. Check your program guide for classic programming on NCW Life Channel, your local TV station.
Oh, look at this.
This would look really good in the kitchen.
Or the living room. Just look at it.
New windows are a work of art. Upgrade your home's windows and get cash back from Chelan County PUD.
This is gonna look great in the house.
At Kennedy Group, we understand that buying and selling is more than a transaction, and it's more than just a house. This is where you will gather with friends and family, and where a lifetime of memories will be made. But buying a home is more than memories. Oftentimes, it's your biggest financial decision. The agents at Kennedy Group understand this and provide real estate advice based on your goals and dreams. Call us today, and let's find your happy place.
When you've been in business for 40 years, it's because you understand change and you put members first, always. Now Works is announcing a change in their membership model. Up to 6 people on one membership that you can mix and match. The more people, the bigger the discounts. Introducing the Works shared membership model. One membership, friends and family and flexibility. Works, the cleanest, friendliest, most helpful gyms you and your friends will ever join.
All right, it is about 56 after the hour. That well-advertised cold front, we haven't been keeping it a secret from you, is beginning to work its way into our area. It has been over the last hour and a half or so. The wind has picked up quite a bit in intensity. Pangborn is a northwest wind at 20 miles an hour, gusts to 25 miles an hour. It's going to pick up a little bit more than that in the afternoon hours. Extremely windy, however. Out in the Columbia Basin, including 2 fairly heavily traveled corridors, the I-90 corridor and the Highway 2 corridor up on the Waterville Plateau. In fact, of course, today is day 2 of the fair. You're going to be in for some interesting weather up here. In the Wenatchee Valley, we are keeping a very close eye on the thunderstorms. Now, the most likely window for thunderstorms and some lightning associated with it is this afternoon to tonight, basically between 5 and 8. That's the window where we have the best chance of thunderstorms and lightning, 5 and 8. This is a very rapidly moving cold front. We could see obviously some rain and some thunderstorms before 5 o'clock and after 8 o'clock, but that's that window where things could really get cattywampus. So everybody's going to see some showers. Everybody's going to see some thunderstorms. You're not going to get away with that. And everybody's going to see some wind, too. We're going to be windy. Columbia Basin, extremely windy. Some big-time gusts out there. So, again, if you're heading up to Waterville for the NCW Fair for day 2, the weather could be not particularly cooperative. It can always be a little breezy up in Waterville, but you throw in the wind and you throw in the thunderstorms and the possible lightning, could be a tad uncomfortable out there. And if you are going to be out in the Columbia Basin, blowing dust is definitely going to be a concern this afternoon. There's simply not enough vegetation to hold the soil to the earth. So between 2 and 8 this evening into this afternoon along the I-90 corridor from George all the way to Sprague. That's a long stretch of highway, about 80 miles there. You could have some blowing dust on Highway 2 up on the plateau between Waterville to Davenport. And if you're traveling on Highway 395 between the Tri-Cities to Ritzville, again, blowing dust is a distinct possibility, which of course cuts down on your visibility as well. So a lot of things going on right now. I guess the best way to put it, it's a very active day in north central Washington with everything. Showers, thunderstorms, gusty winds. This is a very fast moving cold front. It'll be gone Johnson by this time, by, well, Saturday afternoon anyway. But while it's here, things are going to get a little cattywampus. One more time in detail. Your forecast from the National Weather Service. We have it all today. Showers, sometimes rain. If you're caught in a thunderstorm, you could see some pretty significant rainfall. Now, we need the rain. Chance of rain today is 60%. Again, thunderstorms most likely between 5 and 8, but they could happen before and after that. Certainly some rain and wind as well. Some pretty gusty winds for the Wenatchee Valley. Now, that chance of precipitation goes from 60% today to 80% tonight. Now, the winds are going to die down. They'll be gone by about 9 or so tonight, but we are going to see some rain, and we could use it, who's kidding who, and we'll get down to about 54. Saturday, only 69, could even be cooler than that in many locations. If you're heading up into the Cascades in the high country, you could see overnight lows on Saturday night into Sunday in the 30s, so be prepared. It's going to be quite chilly for outdoor activities in the upper elevations. Saturday only 69. Sunday we rebound to 77, and then high pressure will begin to reestablish itself by Monday and Tuesday. And that's it for us. Have a good and safe weekend. We'll see you Monday. Bye-bye.